Oh. Oh, he's trying to get in. Oh, let's let him in. Okay, buddy. Hold on a minute. This little crack's covered. Let's let him in. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Go. Go. Go on. Oh, he got in. He's in. There he goes. Well, good afternoon. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is a pretty chilly day here in East Tennessee. It was in the 20s again last night, and it is not very warm out there today. It looks like it is, but I guess that's why that little lizard was wanting in here. I have like family of them that live in here. Lizard, salamander, or newt or something. But skink, I think is what they are. Last year, this time of year, when I was seed starting, I would see them all the time. So I was wondering where they were at, and I guess he probably couldn't get in because I have this little like plastic piece right there just to kind of keep the wind from going up underneath there. They hang out in here because it feels so good. In here it is 81 degrees with the vent fan and the window open. If I didn't have that open, it'd be like 100 or more probably. But they probably come in here in sun, and I see them sometimes. They'll crawl around my plants or up underneath here on the pavers and things like that, just enjoying the greenhouse, and I don't have any problem with them in here. They're super cute. I like to see them actually. So as for the weather out here, kind of be glad when this little cold snap goes away. I've been covering up my tulips. I just uncovered those so they could get a little bit of sun today, but they've been under the blankets because we've been pretty cold, mid to upper 20s, under freeze warnings, and yeah, I was trying to salvage them a little bit just because I really wanted to enjoy them a little bit longer. So they still look pretty good though. I think the frost cloth has really helped. I've got to move my Ranchu goldfish. We're going to move her to a different tank in just a minute. But I want to show you guys my tomatoes. I have them in these plastic pots that are about, I don't know, 4-inch in diameter, and they're doing awesome this year. Last year I put them in flats, little like 2-inch flats. I have under here a bunch of these little small ones. Doing way better this year with this technique. So what I did was basically just put them in these bigger pots, the 4-inch little pots. I keep water in the bottom of this, as you can see. It keeps it very moist. There's some vents so they can get some airflow in there, but they've stayed humid and warm, and they are just absolutely thriving right now. As soon as we get past this cold snap, I'm going to bring them out here and let them sit out in the greenhouse, maybe get some airflow because that strengthens them up, which will be good for them, because it will not be time to plant these things until end of April. Now my goal today is to move her. I'm wanting to move her over to this tank right here. Some of the things they say for Ranchu goldfish is the water needs to be a little bit cooler for goldfish, but actually these fancy goldfish, they're saying that 75 is kind of an optimal temperature for them, maybe a little bit warmer than your traditional other types of goldfish. I think I'm going to start at 75 because she's in 77 and she looks great. She's doing wonderful. They're saying not to put a lot of decoration in the goldfish tank because the Ranchus are kind of clumsy and they can hit things and run into things and damage their fins and things like that, and, you know, can cause infection. So it's best just to leave them in a tank maybe with soft things like plants. And they say that even at best a bare bottom tank, but I really don't want to do a bare bottom tank. They said sand would be okay. And they also said gravel is fine. They've used this one guy said he'd used gravel for 3 years and never had a problem, but he's just heard of them possibly like getting the gravel in their mouth and getting choked on it. So that would be terrible. Hopefully that will not happen. We'll keep an eye on her. So I'm going to get her moved over. The temperature difference between this tank and this tank is like 3 degrees. So we'll kind of float her in a little bag for just a little bit and get her kind of acclimated to it. And then I'm going to give her some friends to put in there because they're a very social little fish and they don't want to be by themselves. Now eventually I would like to have another Ranchu to go with her. In the meantime, I think I'm going to let the lion heads go over with her. So that's the plan. I don't know. I'm not going to have many things in here. So I've got lots of fish to be getting in the future, y'all. This room's going to be a work in progress. Are you ready to be moved? I've definitely got to get some more of these, y'all. Luckily, I was able to find her at a local store. We really have a couple aquatic stores in our area that's really close by that is really awesome. And people come a long ways to go to them. So otherwise, you'd be kind of getting them online. I've seen some places where you can order them online. I'm a little hesitant about that just because I don't know the reputation of them and kind of how they'll do. But, you know, if it comes down to it, I may have to at some point. I may go back up and see if I can find another one. They said they were getting new fish in pretty soon. Alright, we had another surprise this morning too. My husband came down here this morning before I was up. He found some black Moscow babies that were born last night. So these were not here before I went to bed last night because I came down here last night to check the Ranchu and there was nobody in this tank. Look at all those babies she had last night. We've also got some over here too. We found a few of the bluegrass. There wasn't very many. These are young. It was a first time mama and they're smaller. They don't have as many their first drop. So I'm really waiting on these albino reds. They are absolutely my favorite. She looks kind of big. I may end up moving her over to one of my breeder tanks. That way we don't have any accidentals and anybody get eaten or anything like that, because I'm really looking forward to getting some reds. What are you doing in there? She's just hanging out in that little bag. She's now got a friend. I moved him or her over. I'm thinking this one might be a male. They have the same tank temperatures, so I didn't have to acclimate him very long. I'm gonna have to get a little bit different food for her. The main thing about the Ranchus is they like a sinking pellet. So I put in some food last night that was floating and she never went up to get it. So I took it between my fingers and just kind of pushed it down into the water, and it was some of the guppy food, and it actually sunk down and she immediately saw it when it started coming down and she ate every bit of it. She gobbled it all up. So I'm going to get her something specific for her. And they also say like bloodworms, any type of the frozen foods, the shrimp, things like that are really good to keep their weight up, help them grow good. And also vegetables in their diet, really good for their digestive tract. They said at least feed them peas once a week. You can do it every day, it said, you can't overdo it. And the one thing about the peas is you have to blanch them and then you have to take the shells off because they can't digest the shells. So they say that they absolutely love them. So I'm gonna have to do that and show you guys and see how she responds. It's time. The time is here. Come on. She doesn't want to go. Ooh. We're spooking her. Come on. Come on, little lady. Come on. There you go. Alright, she's in there. I'm going to watch her real good, make sure she responds okay to this tank. This is a newer cycled tank. The water is 3 degrees cooler than what she was in. I think it's a little bit more optimal for her though. So let's see how she does. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on her today. She's going to get lots of visits down here. I've been reading a lot. I've been reading a lot about breeding them, and you have to kind of give them a cold season of a month or so, and then gradually raise the temperature to like 3 degrees. You feed certain stuff and kind of change the lighting. So something I'm definitely going to look into pretty soon. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is another chilly day here in East Tennessee. It was in the 20s last night, so it still feels cold. It's warmed up, I think, to low 50s, but the breeze is very chilly. We've been out shopping today. We stopped by the fish store. I had to get some food for the Ranchu. What I had was really not cutting it. She's not been going to the surface to get food, and I've had to kind of push the food down into the water for her to be able to find it. But once it started sinking, she was able to find it and just gobbled it up. So we went and got her this. Hopefully this will work out pretty good. I think it floats at first and then it sinks, but that should be okay. I've got some more shrimp eggs. I only had a small container that order the first time because I wasn't sure how it would go, and it's been going well. We've got some brewing in here, gonna hatch out, and we'll feed them later. Also, y'all, update on the driftwood. I've got it soaking in the greenhouse, which I think is a great idea because it's hot in here, and I've put some bricks on it so it won't float to the top. I thought I would originally float it inside of one of the 20-gallon aquariums, which no, that did not work out because I would have literally had to get into the aquarium and stand on it to hold it down. I didn't want to put bricks inside my aquarium, so I got a little bit of duckweed today. Also, at the aquarium store that I'm going to grow out here in the greenhouse because it'll flourish out here. All of my aquatic plants really propagate super good out here. And the Ranchu is going to love the duckweed. I also got some more plants. I got some of that spirulina, which I really love. I'm going to put a little bit more of that up. And here's the duckweed. That's all they had right now, but I'll get it to the greenhouse and we'll start propagating it. We've got a mama bluegrass in here in my bear tank. She's been here since yesterday. She's doing good. No fry yet, but hopefully soon. She's really big. All right, I've got a plan. I wish I had decided this before I put the gravel in, but I have sand, and we toiled with doing sand or rock, but after I put this in and then we got her, I wish I'd done the sand because they say that they really love sand. It's easier for them to kind of sift through. Update, sand. I'm working on doing sand. As y'all see, this is a little frightening looking. So I took out all that gravel, put it in a bucket, and we have a cloudy explosion of mess. So it became this way as I was taking the gravel out, but we've been out there really washing the sand, and you really got to wash that stuff. I mean, you got to put a little bit in a bucket at a time and just keep draining it, washing it, and draining it. Washing sand. Alright, we're back to filling the tank back up with new water. We just decided to do a complete water change and start over. It was so dirty. I couldn't take it. Now I have an audience. We are finally finished. I treated everything again with chemicals and put the beneficial bacteria back in here because I took all of the water out. I did have the same filter. I just want to be double sure before I put her back in there. And I think it's going to look good when it clears up. I put some clarifier in here, and we really washed the sand pretty good. I mean, for like 30 minutes. It was pretty dirty. I think that this one is a female. I've done some research. The reason I'm leaning toward that is if you can look at their vent, the males are kind of narrow and long, and the females are kind of rounded and they protrude from where they lay eggs. And I can kind of see that on her. So I'm pretty certain this is a girl. So that means I need to come up with a male, and I need to find a really pretty one that's got maybe like a calico color to it. Oh, I want to show you guys something real quick. Before I headed out just a minute ago, Seth brought me a surprise. We have been trying to catch his lemon blue-eyed pleco in his tank for about a week now, and we finally did it. We just left the net in there, and she so happened to be just right beside the net. He was able to get her. We almost gave up, like really, because we weren't wanting to tear up the plants in his aquarium. It's really hard to like get things out of there when you're trying to chase like a pleco down. But we got her in here. We put one of my males in here, and he instantly went in the cave. So she is behind the filter. So we'll see what comes of this. Hopefully she'll lay some eggs, and he'll fan them in a perfect world, and we'll get some baby lemon blue-eyed plecos. If he doesn't fan them and doesn't do his job, I may have to get like an egg tumbler. We'll see. Alright guys, we've had dinner. It was delicious. I don't think it's going to be as cold tonight. I mean, it's crazy. It's going to be like 54 for a low, and yesterday it was like 25. So I'm good with that. I don't have to run my pellet stove tonight in the greenhouse. I'm just going to come in here and shut the window. Everybody should be good. The next cold spell is coming this weekend, and we're in the 20s again for at least a couple days, but maybe after that it's just going to rebound for a little while. Y'all, I got my duckweed growing here. It will grow super fast in here, and that is my treats for the Ranchu. One last time down here tonight, I'm going to check on the aquarium over here with the sand in it first. Ooh, I've got 2 plecos out. 2 males in here. They're doing okay. Sometimes males won't do good together, but they have a lot of space. A lot of times they'll get underneath these sponge filters, And so they're okay as long as they're not fighting over food or anything. Now I think this tank looks pretty good. I may move her up back to her original tank. It's been treated and quick cycled and everything. I mean, just the same as this one has. So this sponge filter is actually got more bio load on it than that one does. So I may move her up for tonight and just check her several times. I really think she's gonna like the sand. I could be wrong though. Oh, gotcha. Go with your friend. You don't want to stay by yourself. Alright, she is officially in her new home. I'm sorry the lights are kind of dim tonight. These are on a 24/7 cycle, so they mimic sunrise and midday and all the different daylight hours, and then they dim down at night and they go even to like moonlight all the way to midnight, which is pretty cool. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. It is rainy here today, but it's not cold, so that's a plus. I'm coming down here to check on the Ranchu and see how she's doing since she's been in the new tank with the sand, and to see if it's cleared up. I actually have been checking on her several times last night to make sure she was okay, and she seemed to be doing good. There she is. Oh my. Now look how good the tank has cleared out. Seth and I washed the sand super good and put some clarifier in there, bumped up the flow on the sponge filter last night, and looks good. She's sifting through for food. I actually gave her some food earlier. Okay, I think she's gonna like it. I think this is gonna be a good substrate for her. I don't have to worry about the jagged rocks or her getting them caught inside her mouth or anything like that. And she can sift through and get her food. It's dropped, so this is good. I really like the look of it too. I think I'm gonna put it in this one as well, so I can have two with sand. Just in case we have another Ranchu tank. So, I'm really liking these Ranchus. I'm thinking 2 tanks of these things are gonna be awesome. I said, you know, they end up needing more space because they do need quite a bit of space and filtration. But maybe this tank? I don't know. Future plans. She is just adorable. They say these are the pets of the fish world.